Welcome back to the Wizard Shop. Today is a shop update. You guys are wondering why some of these cars are still sitting here. Let's find out. A lot of cars in the line here. We're going to go through them. Don't worry about the Chevelle. We'll talk about it here in a minute. But the 1960 Studebaker Lark is done. We just finished it up. It's got shocks, tires, exhaust. We went through the brakes, fixed some oil leaks, the blower fan. There's a whole list of things we did. The customer, just like many of the other cars that are in here, made it clear that we don't need to focus on that car all the time, solid until it's done. It said, work on it on your own time. When you get some time, I'm in no rush. You be gentle on the price. I'll be gentle on the time frame. And that's kind of a trade-off that we give with some of our customers. So we'll work on that until a car comes in that needs to be done within 1 or 2 days. That might sit for a week. Nothing will be done on it. And the customer's totally fine with that. No trouble at all. The list of things that we had to do to this vehicle is actually very long. And when you can only do 1 or 2 items at a time, and then there's a break, and then you do another 1 or 2 small items, and then another break, the car like this will sit in the background for a long time. But it's finally done. Everything that he wanted done is done. It runs, it's in top shape. I'll get a bill written on it, and guess what? It'll still sit here because they're going to have to arrange shipping, and I know from experience, Hoovie knows from experience, when you call a shipper to come and get a car, it takes more long time. I'm okay with that because the customer was patient with me. I'll be patient with the shipper. It's a win-win situation for everyone involved. I feel like I can do a really good job and do things right on this and not be watching the clock going, oh my God, I gotta hurry up. We don't do the hurry up stuff here. That's not what we do here. This is not a Firestone. And this is a fun car to work on. It was fun to road test. It's a beautiful car. This car actually inspired me to buy my 1954 Plymouth Savoy, which is currently waiting on some parts. We'll get to that one here in a little bit. Let's move to the Aston Martin. So this is actually a Car Issues Season 2 Aston Martin DB7. You've seen it in Hoovie's video. It's here for some door modules to be rebuilt. Also, the ionization misfire detection module is failing. We have that also sent off for rebuild to amplifier and radio repair there in Boca Raton, Florida. A guy named Dave rebuilds all my modules for me. I trust him because he rebuilds all the modules for the local Bentley dealerships and Rolls-Royce and Ferrari dealerships in the area. But that's all it's getting. Get the door modules fixed, the misfire detection module fixed. This thing will be done. Now let's talk about what's behind me, the Alfa Romeo 164. This is a 1991 Alfa Romeo 164. We did a video on it quite a while back, and it's been sitting for a while, waiting on the upholstery. Lowen Upholstery here in Newton actually redid all the seats, and it was very expensive because it's leather, and it turned out very, very good. I have found that this car is the hardest car I've ever worked on to find parts for. Harder than a Ferrari, a Lamborghini, a Rolls-Royce. A lot of parts I've found on this, I'm still waiting on a few more, and then this car will be done, are coming from Lithuania or Latvia, Russia, places where these cars were pretty common. There's just really no market for this in America, in North America, for Alfa Romeo 164s. And the customer told me that when he dropped the car off. He said, "Car Wizard, good luck with the parts." It's like, oh, I hope it doesn't turn out to be a fiasco. And it kind of has in some areas. We did timing belt, water pump, the interior, some stuff in the dash. There's a whole lot of work we've done to this thing, but it is getting near the end. It is very, very close. Let's take a look at the interior and show you guys how it turned out. So as you can see, if you watched the previous video, the seats were ripped up. They were pretty worn out. They had some splits in the leather, and it was looking pretty rough. Now they look brand new because they are basically brand new. All new material all the way around, top to bottom. And the elephant in the room, my 66 Chevelle that's sitting on top up here. We started to do a Jaguar V12 swap with the Jaguar TH400, actually a 4L80E to be exact. Transmission is currently sitting in the car. It's currently installed. We just haven't ran exhaust or wiring or fuel lines or anything like that. Once I got the 308 here, that was pretty much the priority, and we've been working on that even this week. This is on the back burner, and once the 308 is done, we can move it out of the way. We can pull this back down off the lift and get back to it. But the hard work is over as far as locating and installing the engine and transmission. We just got a lot of wiring and hoses and lines and things like that to do. But right now we are doing nothing to it. It will sit for probably quite a while longer. Let's check out this Lexus right over here to the side. So this is a 96 Lexus LS400. You guys have actually seen it in the shop. It's back again. There was some more work they wanted done. There's actually a wheel bearing that has some issues on the front right. And as you can see, we've got it all apart. Also, the dust shield was literally corroding and falling apart and making noises. And really that's all that's going to get done to this, and then it'll be out of here. There's really not a whole lot. But I had it happen again, guys. I found a dust shield on a very well-known Lexus parts company online. I'm not going to mention their name. I found the dust shield, the correct part number, everything. And in little green letters it said, "In stock now." Oh, okay. It's only 40 bucks. I clicked the button, pay, plunked the cash down. A week went by, nothing. I did get an email, something about there might be a status update, but there was no status update. Then a second week went by, and this car's sitting here, and I finally said, I got to get the Lexus done. What in the world is going on with that part that was in stock now? I had Crazy D in the office call them, and they said, we never had that part, and we're not going to. There are none. They're not in stock. It's like, when were you going to tell us that? You took my money. Oh, we'll cancel the order. We'll give you your money back. It'll take 3 to 5 days, blah, blah, blah. A lot of you guys try to be helpful in the comments, and I really appreciate it. You guys have been helpful in the past. You've helped me find parts. But be careful that just because you find somewhere in Canada or somewhere some part listed for sale and it says in stock, that doesn't mean it's in stock. It doesn't mean they actually have it. I have learned you have to call them and physically talk to somebody and say, do you actually have, do you even have this part, bro? And half the time they say, nope. Okay, and then I have to go back and search again online. It's crazy the way the part situation is right now. A lot of people have things listed for parts in stock that a year ago they would have had that part. But because of, I don't know, the supply situation that we're in, they're not updating the status on their website that they actually now don't have the parts. So be careful with that when you go to plunk down cash. Move on to the Mercedes. This one's a little bit of a teaser. This is a real treat, very special. This is another Euro-Asian Bob special. We're doing a few items of repair, but if you want to know more, you're going to have to wait till the video comes out on this. This thing is cherry. Now let's move on to the Nova. Okay, so this is the 1979 Nova. You guys have seen a video or two on it. The engine, transmission are back. They're actually in. And as we get time, we're piecing it back together, putting parts and pieces back on it. And it is coming back together. We're making good progress. It's slow, but it's progress. We are making progress on it. Actually, Junior Mint's getting ready to dive in here tomorrow and start mounting some more accessories and parts on it. But a lot of people said, when they see the engine, they said, good job, Car Wizard, that's not even the right color. It is the right color. It's called GM Corporate Blue. They came out with that one in late 70s, early 80s. I had an 85 K5 Blazer with the original engine in it, and it was that color. Somebody actually made a comment, that's a Ford Blue. No, it's not. Look. Here's the Duplicolor engine enamel with ceramic. DE1608 General Motors Blue. Now that we got that handled, let's move on to the Jeep. This is the 83 Jeep full-size Wagoneer that you guys have seen for a long time. This thing has thousands of dollars of work being done to it, and we're actually coming to a close. We got it running and driving good, the cruise control's fixed, the interior's done. As you can see, the wheels and everything are done. We got the four-wheel drive working. We got a fully rebuilt engine in it. The transmission has been rebuilt before it was bought. It has had literally a book full of work done to it. The customer's been very patient and very understanding, and I'm very appreciative of that. Once we are done with this Jeep, we will never take on this big of a project again. This will be the last major job like this that we ever do. The reason why is I have now 4 technicians and we have cars coming and going just as fast as they can come in, they're going out. I don't have time to do this anymore. There's a reason why restoration shops exist, because shops like this don't do restorations. They do. And they take a year or 2 or 3 to get it done, and it's usually tens of thousands of dollars, not $1,500. So let's move on to the Rolls-Royce. This is a 1994 Rolls-Royce Silver Spur. You guys have seen this before in the shop. We've done videos on it. It's not been sitting in the background or anything, but it's back again. And that is the story of these cars, especially this one, because it has 150,000 miles on it. You wouldn't think so by looking at it. It's been very well cared for. It has a fuel leak that has developed, and we're going to take care of that. But keep in mind, when you see cars come back, that doesn't mean that we screwed up. That means that very likely there were repairs. The customer said, hey, I'll get those at a future date. Let's not mess with that today. Just get this and this done, and I'll call you back. Or it's just old and cars break. Now, it's easy to think, Car Wizard, you should go through every nut and every bolt, the seat belts, everything, and you should guarantee personally everything before it leaves the shop. I would, if the customer will pay for it. It'll probably be a $2,000 bill in inspections. No one's ever going to pay that. So guess what? I'm not doing it. But this customer is also one of my great customers. I really enjoy doing business with him. He's patient as well. We'll get the fuel leak taken care of and a few other small issues, and this thing's going back out the door. He's going to enjoy it some more, and it'll probably break again. Because all these old Bentleys and Rolls-Royce, there's always something that needs to be done on them. And then there's these things that sit in the background because the engine's off being rebuilt. And until it gets back, there's nothing we can do with it. What did you call it, Mrs. Wizard?
It's a stink bug.
Stink bug?
Yeah.
I guess it kind of looks like a beetle or a stink bug or something.
When they walk around, their back end is up in the air, and this one's back end is up in the air.
I guess. I will let Hoovy know that you named his 911 Porsche Stink Bug.
Go ahead.
As soon as the engine gets back and everything get back together, running again, then we got interior work to do, and that's all we want done. Tyler wants it to be ratty and trashy looking on purpose. So that's what we're waiting on. And Great Grandma is actually sitting on her rear axle that we put on, a 92 Ford Explorer axle. Everything's together. I just need to make a spacer between the drive shaft and the pinion flange, and I'm good to go. I actually just bought a large lathe to get that done, and we'll do that in another video. We'll show you the lathe, but it's getting very close. The tires sit perfectly in it. Everything turned out really, really nice. I'm very happy with it. Some cars will spend quite a long time in the shop before they're fully sorted and enjoyed for the next coming years. I'm glad I got to share with you some of the stories of the cars that are sitting in the shop. But just because it's in the background doesn't mean we can't fix it or something's wrong. There's usually a reason behind it, and hopefully you guys kind of get an understanding of what's going on here. There are other cars in the shop right now, but right now we're just focusing on the ones you've been seeing in the background quite a bit and kind of explaining why they're here. We got 2 more things to do on the 308, and there'll be an update of a whole bunch of things we've got done on the 308. So I do promise a 308 video coming very soon. You want to make sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss it. But if you're curious what kind of tools we used to work on all these cars, or currently are working on all these cars, check my Amazon affiliates link in the description below. We get a small cut and we really appreciate it. Also, they're really great gift ideas. And just like I just mentioned, if you haven't hit the subscribe button already, you want to for the Super Bird. Thanks for watching.